Well, we're dinking around with Eddie and Webby. Dinking around with Eddie and Webby tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We are back with another episode of Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby. How's it going, my friend?
Hey, good. Which one is this? Am I Webby? Are you who? I don't know who we are. I think I'm Eddie. Are you Webby?
I'm Webby, not Eddie.
And here we go. Let's touch the tips. That's
That
right,
means this guy over
everybody.
here is Eddie.
Yes, this is Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby. We're so happy to be back. We are live, and this is actually pretty cool. Tonight we're live on YouTube. We decided to say no to Facebook because Facebook just is awful to go live on. But now we are actually live streaming to X, a.k.a. Twitter. And this is an experiment. We're going to see how it goes. So, I don't know. If you're on Twitter, thanks for joining us.
This is a groundbreaking night. This brand new application called Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
You know, is this like, you know, when they changed Pine Knob to DTE Energy Theater or whatever 20 some years ago, but everybody still called it Pine Knob? Do you think that's going to be the same thing with Twitter?
Oh, for sure. Nobody's going to call it X. It's always going to be Twitter.
Yeah, well. Anyway, super excited to be able to hang out with our guest tonight. But Webby, let's catch up for a second. Anything going on with you?
Actually, there is something new going on. I actually have some breaking news to announce here. Eddie isn't even totally aware of what I'm about to say. Eddie recently told me that we should try doing something new to help expand the Eddie and Webby brand. So I actually did a thing. And this is breaking news to Eddie. It's official. Eddie and Webby are now the proud owners of a pickleball team.
Dude, man, how did you get in on MLP? Like, I thought that cost like millions of dollars, and now like we don't have millions of dollars. How did we get in on that?
Yeah, we do not have millions of dollars. It is not a Major League Pickleball team. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear, but it is not a Major League Pickleball team.
Got it. Okay. All right. So another pro pickleball team that's kind of like Major League Pickleball. I didn't know that existed. That's pretty cool.
I mean, no, not really. It's not really pro per se. It is a team. It's a team format. Not pro though. It's more like it's kind of like pro, but more like 3.5 to 4.0 players.
Got it.
So basically pro, like the local pros, I would say, like the local pros.
Got it. Well, that's exciting. Any other details you can share about it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and spill the beans here. So it's a fairly new thing. It just started last year. I wasn't able to participate last year, but I thought it would be really fun to get involved this year. And it is the Detroit Pickleball League. So it's a newer thing, but I really think it's something that will catch on. The team format sounds awesome. And like I said, Eddie and I, we decided to expand the brand and purchase our own team. Oh, yeah.
Can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. You know what else I can't wait for?
What's that?
Tasty beverage in my mouth.
Ooh.
Yeah?
I like tasty beverages. In fact, I couldn't wait even more than you, and I already poured a tasty beverage.
Oh, yeah? What'd you pour?
Well, this is one from our good friends at New Belgium, and I feel like this has been my go-to lately. It is a nice, delicious Fat Tire Ale, the new and improved recipe.
Love it. Well, I wasn't in the beard mood tonight, and unfortunately, I didn't have any fruit smashes from New Belgium, but I did have Happy Dad Death Row Records edition, grape flavored. Have you had this?
I have not. It sounds amazing.
Let me tell you, if you're a fan of grape drink, you will like this seltzer from Happy Dad. Great brand. They make great seltzers, and yeah, that's what I'm going to be enjoying this evening. So cheers, my friend.
Nice. Cheers. This is going to be a very, very fun episode.
That's right. Are you going to be introducing our guest this evening, Webby?
Yeah, don't mind if I do. Today's guest is a very popular content creator and social media influencer known for hilarious videos that are about his fitness journey. And just like any good athlete, he ended up finding pickleball and got bit by the pickleball bug. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, Evan Slaughter of Fit2Serve. How's it going, man?
Yeah. I feel like I should have run out of something, you know? That intro is fire, dude.
Nice. No, this is awesome. We're both big fans of your content. We are very excited to have you here. So thank you very much for joining us.
Dude, I'm honored to be here, man, for sure. Really excited. I know we're going to have fun tonight and talk some pickleball, right?
We might talk a little pickleball, maybe a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, it is a pickleball
We'll
podcast, but
if
I
we
guess
get
we'll
around
see.
to it.
Yeah.
Right. If there's time.
Well, I got to tell you, Matt, your content cracks me up. If you guys have not checked out any of the content, Fit2Serve one on Instagram, that is the place to go to be able to see some of this hilarious content. Most of it's around pickleball, it seems like, but some of it is also other topics as well. Is that a good way to kind of describe what you're going after thematically?
Yeah, I would say so for sure. There's definitely a ton of pickleball stuff in there. Maybe even 50%, maybe 50% or higher. I kind of split it with fitness stuff and the pickleball stuff. But yeah, pickleball is definitely a big market for me, for sure.
Well, I've got to say, with a name like Evan Slaughter, I love that name, and I feel like you're pretty much destined to get involved in entertainment of some capacity, like whether it be professional wrestling or comedy or something. Like, I feel like with that kind of a name, you had to get involved in entertainment.
Yeah, well, and I was in the Army too for a little while, so it was really popular there. Let me tell you, the drill sergeants loved that whenever I got there. Like, oh, Sergeant Slaughter, you gonna be Sergeant Slaughter? Like, I got all of that. So it definitely, it's just always been my last name, so it wasn't always as big a deal to me. But everybody seems to love it, and the way I've learned to describe it when someone asks how I spell it is it's laughter with an S in front. So how fitting is that, right?
Yeah, that actually
a little bit of laughter with an S in front.
I like that. Well, growing up, did anybody I don't want to say tease you, but bring up the Sergeant Slaughter thing? Like, oh, is your dad Sergeant Slaughter or whatever? Yeah.
Constantly. Yeah, okay. Constantly. And especially going into the Army, it was a big deal. But Sergeant Slaughter was a badass, so it was like, what are you gonna say about Sergeant? You know what I mean? That was a good thing, So there was a guy in basic training whose last name was Maltzberger. And he was a bigger gentleman, and the drill sergeants had a lot of fun with that when they were like, holy shit, son, there's over 5,000 calories in your last name alone. So I was lucky to have Slaughter and not Maltzberger.
Got it.
Nice. So for anybody tuning in that might not be familiar with your content, how would you describe to people, or like what can people expect if they tune into your content on YouTube or Instagram or any of the formats that you're on?
Man, expect to laugh, expect to not take yourself so seriously. Most of the people get it. Sometimes you get people that are like, I don't see what's funny about this. Why don't you just lose weight? Like, that's part of the shtick, bro. We're getting there. We're getting to that part, But yeah, for me, it's like taking it. It's having fun with the concept of being new at something, right? Like whenever I first got into pickleball, I really started having success making fun of the fact that I was new at pickleball. So like I would do videos around your friend that just started playing pickleball. And that friend is technically me. Like I was the one doing, I'm just making fun of myself. But then I found so much relatability in that because there's so many people that are new at it or whatever. It was the same thing with fitness and CrossFit for me. It's like your friend that just started CrossFit. It's like all those videos are just around like, me getting into something new. So I found that it brings a lot of laughs to be able to laugh at yourself as you get into a new sport or a new journey in your life or whatever. But yeah, I didn't realize how many people would relate to it at first because I was really just kind of having fun with the things I was trying in life, and pickleball was one of those.
So kind
I
of
think
rewind.
The first video of yours that I saw was it was the one you talk about, like the friend that first starts playing pickleball. That was the first video I saw. I thought that was hilarious. So then I started watching more of your stuff, and even the stuff that's not pickleball related. I mean, it is hilarious. Eddie and I were just talking about one of the videos. I think it was something about finding an angel at the gym or something like that. And I was just laughing my ass off. Like, it was so funny. Both you and the other guy, just like the facial features, like you guys, I don't think like you barely even spoke in the video, but just like, just the way you guys did what you did was just so funny. I'm not even going to say what happens in the video. You guys just got to check it out and watch it. You will not regret it, but man, it was hilarious. I love it.
Dude, I've had fun with what I call a comedic thirst trap. You know, that's the genre I feel like I'm trying to kind of create, is this comedic thirst trap. I used to just laugh, not laugh, but and I get it, you know, like you see so many fitness videos where it's like so serious, right? It's a dude with his shirt off and he's ripped and he can't even take, he takes himself too seriously, but it's like all these like intense music with dude with shirt off with six pack and like, oh yeah, this is what fitness is. And so I just had fun with that concept. Like, forget that. You know what I mean? Like, I this is who I am. I'm going to take my shirt off and do the same thing and do it in a comedic way. And I found that has brought so much, not just laughter to people, but I've gotten so many messages like, dude, I was struggling getting back to the gym and blah, blah, blah. And your videos are helping me get there. It's like helping people find self-confidence again, because I'm not just gonna go along with the stigma that's around fitness. Like, oh, fitness is, you better already be in shape and be sexy and ripped, or else you're not gonna be able to be, on Instagram, or you can't. But no, that's like 5% of people. The rest of us, 95% of people that are like living the everyday thing, just trying to get back in shape, or that's who fitness is for also. So I had fun with that. So like the video you were referencing, man, it was kind of the same thing. Like, I go to a CrossFit gym, I see all these ripped dudes and stuff, and it's great. And it's like, there's also people like me there, but when it's a partner workout and you get stuck with someone who's just jacked, and like, that was kind of the idea behind that. So it was like no one else is in the gym but this other dude who's at the class who's jacked, So, but yeah, I have fun with that theme for sure, dude.
Yeah, I find self-deprecating humor to be some of the best that's out there. And to me, I also see it as a true sign of self-confidence too. And I have found with your content, yeah, you kind of it allows people to kind of maybe disarm the voices in their head of insecurities they might have with going to the gym, because I'm assuming it's probably terrifying for a lot of people, and it might be holding them back for making some healthy choices, because they are afraid of being judged or what people are going to say about them. And so I find your content to be inspiring, to just be like, man, just be yourself and go do it. And I don't know, what has your experience been? Have you met those people in the gym that are judgy and believe, oh, you should look a certain way, or maybe put down other people around you? Or has it all been pretty positive with your journey?
That's a really good question, because so for me, in the past, I was actually in pretty good shape, like especially when I was in the military. I was studying exercise science in college. I had done some personal training. I was in really good shape at one point in my life. And then after getting out of the military and just life hits you and you're going through all this different stuff, I got out of shape. I gained weight, and I got to a place where, for the first time in a long time, I had to feel what it was like to be nervous and hesitant about going to the gym. And I'm kind of grateful for that experience, because it's tough. It's tough, and I can't imagine, trying to go to the gym for the first time and never really having been to the gym and being out of shape most of your life, and then trying to start something new. And it's like you go to Instagram or social media or whatever to try to get some tips and see like the process, and what are you flooded with, dude? You're flooded with all these people that are just in killer shape, and then it probably tells them like, well, I can't achieve that. I don't know what I'm doing if it's going to be a bunch of people like that at the gym, then I don't want to go. And they're just taking themselves out of an opportunity to better themselves. So for me, it was like, I started kind of with the fitness side of things, making these videos where it was like at home workout, and I was just kind of doing something silly, but I was moving. And I was getting all these messages from people that were like saying like, I know you're being funny here, but this is really helping me. Like, we get up and we do the movements along with you. And I found so much inspiration with that. So like, I get all the time, man, messages like, where do you get your confidence from? Why are you so And it's because I learned how to say F it, right? Like, I don't care what you think of me. Why would I care what someone else thinks of me? That's not going to hold me down anymore. So once I learned how to say that, and really believe that, and not in a negative way, but in a way like, I'm not going to let what I think other people are thinking about me hold me back anymore. I'm just going to say screw it and go do what I want to do. And that for me has been so freeing, dude. So that's what I'm trying to like, I guess if there's a message with some of the fitness content, that would be the message, man. Like, forget what people are thinking about you or what you think people are thinking about you, and just go do it for yourself.
Nice. And even though most of your content is funny, you do have some like good motivational and uplifting videos on there too. In fact, one of the pinned videos that you have on Instagram, it's where you explain like what the meaning behind Fit2Serve is. Do you mind like telling our audience like what, like just kind of a brief summary about why it's called Fit2Serve and what it means to you?
Yeah, no, not at all. So like, Fit2Serve, for me, like I was thinking of the title, and a lot of people make assumptions. They think it's because of my military background, or that whatever it is, or people automatically think physically fit. That's what I'm referring to, but I'm not. What I've learned is that we're all fit in some way to be of service to other people. And for me, that's the comedy thing, like making people laugh. That's how I can serve other people. So I can, bring some laughter to someone's day, and I'm fit to do that. Whereas someone else might be fit to be a school teacher. Like, I'm definitely not that person. I could not be in a classroom with kids, I think, for more than 5 minutes. But there's someone out there who's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's people out there who love it, and they're born to do that. So we're all fit in some way to be of service. And it's like, once we discover what that is, it's a purpose, right? Like, we have a purpose. And once we figure out what that purpose is, it kind of gives new meaning to life. At least it did for me. And discovering that for myself was really freeing. And then it allowed me to start opening doors and living a life that I didn't think was possible. So I just believe we're all fit in some way to serve other people, and going on that journey is kind of gives us some meaning in life for sure.
Yeah, that's so cool that you were able to find that. So kind of going back, you said you were in the military, came out of the military. Talk about coming out of the military and what led you to kind of taking on the role for your career as a content creator. I don't really like that term content creator, because it's like we do so much more than just put content out there. Content's like just crap, right? Yours is fit to serve. Like it has a meaning, it has a purpose. So talk about that transition. Military, was there a moment in your life when you're like, man, I'm gonna chase this. I don't care what it takes. What were you doing at that time? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I hate the term. Content creator and influencer is the worst.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
That's the worst, dude.
Yeah.
Like, when people are, oh, you're an influencer? Like, no, I hope not. No. Yeah, so I got out of the military, and came back home to Alabama, where I'm from, Birmingham. I got into multifamily real estate, which through a friend, which was good. It was new to me. I literally went from being in the infantry, in an airborne infantry unit, so jumping out of helicopters, jumping out of airplanes, deployed to Afghanistan, doing the whole infantry thing, to like this office job, working, managing these apartments and helping with the renovations. And I feel like I was decent at it at first, but I got real burnt out real fast. And so I was recruited kind of by this plumbing company that I would use a lot for the renovations. And they were like, come work for us. We need an operations manager, blah, blah, blah. So I turned them down. And then a year later, they came back and I accepted it. And it was kind of the same deal. I was in an office. It was a pretty big, extensive operation. So we worked 24/7, no holidays. I was just miserable, man. I was miserable. I was super unhappy. At the time, I started going through a divorce from that. I was getting off opiates from being injured in Afghanistan, and I was struggling with just a whole bunch of different things. So I was like trying to get off painkillers, you know, throwing away a marriage that wasn't working out, and I was super unhappy in this office environment, and just didn't feel like I was living out my purpose. So I get on the other side of those things, and I get to a place where after the divorce, I'm like, all right, I gotta figure some things out here. I wasn't happy then, and what does happiness look like for me? So fortunately, I had some real estate that I was able to sell when the market was doing kind of good, and so I sold it and got out of any debt I had, and I had some money where I had a little bit of time, so I could look at a schedule or a calendar and go, all right, I've got probably 6 months here. I started messing around with TikTok throughout that time, and started to have a little bit of success with it. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna continue, focus all my energy making sketch comedy videos just while I have some time. This is the only time for me to do it. And if it continues to do well or grows or whatever, then I'm just going to continue to pursue this. So I started doing it, and it's funny because I had several videos go viral, right, kind of maybe 6 months after I got serious about, making content. And the first thing that ever came to me through making a video was I got an email from the social media director at Brooks Running Company that makes the shoes, Brooks Shoes, after I did a Your Friend That Just Started Running video. And they sent me a bunch of shoes and clothes and stuff for free. And I was like, this is great, this is awesome. I mean, I know how much Brooks shoes cost and how they probably sent me $1,200 worth of product. And I was like, that's really cool, so I kind of kept going. And then I made that pickleball video, Your Friend That Just Started Pickleball. And that's when the actual, people started reaching out about business deals, like, hey, we love your videos. We'd like to hire you to make some videos for our blog site, And so I started getting paid. And the money was not great at first, but I barely had a following on Instagram and TikTok was growing, maybe 50-something thousand followers on TikTok by the time, I got a first paid offer. And so I accepted it, and I just kept going, and one thing led to another, and it was just kept going. And now it's like at a place where, this is the best job I've ever had. I haven't been anywhere near this successful at any other thing I've done. And it doesn't feel like work. So it was a little bit of a journey, but definitely through some pain, I realized I'm going to just try to do something that truly makes me happy. And I took a chance on myself, I guess.
That's so cool. How long ago was that? Like when would you say that 6 month timer started?
Right at the beginning of 2022. So this spring will be 2 years that I've been doing it full time. Or spring 2024 will be 2 years full time. Yep.
Nice. Very cool. So you said that first pickleball video that you did that got the attention of people. So were you a pickleball player at the time, or did you base that video off of annoying friends that you had that were trying to talk you into playing pickleball?
No, I was playing, man. I got introduced it by some friends and loved it, was using it as a way to kind of work to get back in shape and all that kind of stuff, but just fell in love with the game. My dad was a big racquetball guy. So I'm talking me and my brother were getting racquetball gear for Christmas when we were 8 and 9 years old. We were those kids that were we're going to the racquetball court with our dad. And I did enjoy it. I liked the racket sports and stuff like that. But I, played it, fell in love with it. And it just kind of, once I did those, Your Friend That Just Started Running and Your Friend That Just Started Working Out style videos, I was like, well, let me just do one about pickleball, because that's something I'm actually, just starting out at, and see how it goes. And I didn't realize that I stumbled upon a niche that just was untapped for sketch comedy like that, especially at the time. And I feel like, as saying this as humbly as I can, I feel like I kind of started, at least the sketch comedy around, like the comedy that I'm putting out around pickleball. No one was doing it, and I didn't realize that. Of course, there were memes and all that other kind of stuff, but no one was really like making fun of the rec player or make it, So I just kind of got lucky, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nice. You mentioned your dad. You mentioned your dad and racquetball, and that reminded me of the video. You have one about when your dad first starts playing pickleball, and it's something that when you were playing that character of your dad, you talked about how like, I'm a racquetball player, but there's just nowhere to play racquetball anymore, so I'm going to give this sport a try or something like that. I've literally heard that exact statement so many times on the pickleball court. When I first started playing pickleball, a lot of the older people that are like the age of my dad and stuff, so many of them said that. So like your dad first playing pickleball video was spot on. I have met so many people that are just like that. So that's another one of the classic pickleball videos that you have out there.
Yeah, my dad was all about the racquetball, man. Double knee braces, elbow brace, the glasses. I mean, that was racquetball, man. So, and I loved it. I mean, it was a lot of fun. And funny thing is he's playing, pickleball now. My mom and him have gotten into it, and they got some friends that they go play with at church or whatever. And so it's cool. But you can tell that he's like trying to kind of relate it to racquetball, but at least it's giving him something, he's got a paddle in his hand and he's doing the deal. So
that's cool. I mean, obviously it's, you can translate any racket sport and have it help your pickleball game. And in some ways there's also bad habits that you can create, right? I'm sure in racquetball, it's a lot more wrist than in pickleball. When you first started playing, did you have to kind of overcome any of those bad habits that maybe you developed with racquetball when you were younger?
Yeah, definitely. And I watched my dad having to overcome that as well. So like, for example, the serve, when you're serving with racquetball, you can drop it right off the floor and hit it low off the floor because you want it to, most of the time, unless you're doing a different type of serve, you want to hit it as low to the floor as you can. And I noticed he was trying to kind of do that with his serve. Like he would drop it and hit it off the bounce and hit it right into the net. And I was like, man, try, first of all, you can bounce it, but try not bouncing it. Try just hitting it after you drop it out of your hand. So he's got the hang of it for sure. But, and it's, I guess, I mean, racquetball's a pretty fast-paced game. So I think like kind of learning to slow it down a little bit, and be more deliberate about your shots is something I personally have had to kind of go through.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm like a 3-5, by the way. I think
that was literally going to be my next question for you. So
I'm not great, but I'm all right. I'm all right, man. If I can get in better shape, I think I can do better.
I like it.
Nice.
I also like the fact, Webby, that he self-admits he's a 3-5, yet is sponsored by a paddle company that you and I are both fans of, and that is Valir. You want to talk a little bit about how that came to be? Because I got to tell you, that commercial is hilarious. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you can find it online. It is so funny. Talk to me about Valir.
First of all, I love Valir. I love Ryan at Valir, and Julian Arnold, all the guys that are on the team at Valir. Ryan was actually the one that told me I was a 3-5, and he told me that this weekend when I was in Austin doing an event with Valir. So as he's handing me my signature paddle, he says, "You're the only 3-5 with a signature paddle." So he told me one time, he said, "Man, you've got more sponsorships than any of the pro players, right?" He's like, "You're not great at it." And I was like, "Well, thank you, but I'm trying." No, but it was funny because like after I started getting serious more deliberate about making the pickleball videos, I was having people just bombard me with wanting to send me stuff. Paddles, tons of paddles from everywhere, phone calls with different companies coming in. And it got to where this was in the transitional phase for my content too. I was starting to have to turn down like, hey, I can't just do something for you anymore for just product. I've got to get paid to do this. I'm doing it full time. Other people are paying me. Like, I can't just take product. So I was having all these paddles come in, and I had just kind of agreed with one company to do some affiliate stuff. I'm not a huge affiliate guy. I don't do affiliate deals only. You see people with all these discount codes, and I've got some discount codes, but that's because I'm under contract with them. I don't like just the affiliate stuff. I feel like it's just, for me, it wasn't worth the time. So I was getting, I had just kind of started talking to someone about maybe doing some affiliate stuff for their paddle. And right at that time, Valir slides into the DMs, and they're like, hey, we'd love to send you a paddle. And I wrote them like I was writing everybody else. I said, I didn't even know who Valir was at the time. I wrote them back. I said, that's fine. Send me a paddle, but just know that I've got a bunch of other companies sending me paddles. So if you see me make a video with another paddle or market another paddle, and you would just sent me this one, just know that you're not the only one. I've got a bunch of people coming in. So he was like, that's fine. We want to send you a paddle anyway. So I got the Valir paddle, and I don't know, whenever Valir sent y'all's paddles, did it come in the nice gift box?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
The whole experience, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. It's an experience to open it. Yeah.
It's an experience. I had not received anything like that up until this time. Yeah, there we go. Got the button already out.
Includes the Valir button with Julian's voice.
Come on. Why?
Come on. It's so good.
It's so good. It was so fun.
So I get this package, and I'm like, well, this is impressive. I'm impressed by this. So I open the package and do the whole deal, I knew nothing, very little about Valir, but nothing about Julian at the time. So, I do him a favor and make a video with the paddle. I kind of start using it. Well, then he reaches out again, and that's when he was like, hey, look, how would you like to, do some work for us and make some videos, with the paddle and this and that? And I wrote him back and I said, man, I'm not looking for any kind of affiliate deal. I said, what I'm looking for is a commitment with a paddle company. I'm looking for someone to say, hey, let's do some long-term work together. And of course, he writes back immediately. He was like, well, that's what I would like too. So we started off at 1 year, and then 1 year turns into let's agree to 2 years, and then 2 years turns into let's agree to 5 years. So we signed this 5-year contract, which was huge, man. I mean, it was huge. It was off of that 5 years alone, it was like, hey, well, at least I know that for the next 5 years I can pursue content creation. That was the biggest thing for me, is like, even if everything else doesn't work out, at least I have 5 years to try it, because I've got this deal with Valir. So he took a chance on me, and I guess kind of saw where the content was going, and then we started going to events, and people were continuing to identify with the content, and it has been a growing relationship where we just continue to. Our thing was, we wanted to make new strides in the social media department, behind pickleball paddles and stuff. We didn't want to be your typical big brands, that were only caring about the professional side of things or whatever. We wanted to be for everybody. We wanted to have professional quality paddles, but also be, one that your rec player wanted to use. And so I was supposed to be the guy that marketed to the rec side of things, I guess.
Nice. That's awesome. And I think that's brilliant, to be honest. I think that's the best way to go about it, is to have somebody that's well known, but that's an amateur player, not necessarily a pro player. Because I think a majority of players, they're smart enough to know, just because a pro is endorsing a paddle, it doesn't mean that your everyday player is going to be able to do better just because they're using that same paddle. Right. But Valir was nice enough to send us paddles too. And I got to tell you, that was the smartest thing they could have ever done, because both Eddie and I have been loving the paddles they sent us. And I've actually been having some really good results. The last 3 tournaments that I played in that I used that paddle, the Mach 1 Forza, I had some pretty good results. And obviously, like anybody that follows our channel, they know every tournament I do a vlog video. So there's some free content for them right there, just because they sent us those paddles. So, I mean, very smart move on their part. But I really enjoy their paddles a lot.
No, it's a great paddle, and because I have had one thing I have had the privilege of doing is trying a bunch of different stuff. and not only with their design and their look and their, how they market the paddle, and the fact that you're paying, 130 and upwards for a paddle, and then it's sent to you in something that you would expect something for $150 to be, it was really nice. Like, that was a big seller to me.
Yeah.
I was getting all these other paddles sent, and it just comes in bubble wrap in a UPS box, and then this thing comes, and you're like, well, dang, this just feels like I'm better at pickleball now, So it's like, I'm in.
Nice.
I'm in.
Well, we are live right now, and one of my favorite things about going live is that we get the live interaction from the audience that's tuning in. Eddie, do we have anything going on social media in the comments there?
Yeah, there's one person in particular that I wanted to bring up. They have a statement and a question, and that is from Colt Alvarez. And Colt says, "Let's go Fit2Serve. He is so funny." 100% agree with you, Colt. But then he's got a question for you. And he says, "When does your paddle come out?" And
what a timely question,
I
Colt.
know. Can you believe the timing of that?
Because I've got the one of one. I've got the sample one right here to reveal for you. So, what if Colt Alvarez is actually just Ryan and he's just creeping on our?
It's his burner account.
That's right. No, Colt, I appreciate your question. Boom. This is the first one. So the back has a bunch of funny quotes from my videos, like shuffle your feet, or you look at a pickle, or back me up, Donna, So all the funny stuff that we say, and then, of course, the Fit2Serve logo there with Valir. And where it says Mach 1 on most paddles, this one's got Fit 1 there.
Yes.
That's awesome. That is
super
awesome.
Cool, man. The handle is actually the color here, but they put Ryan was actually playing with it for a little while before he let me have it when I came down to Austin. So they put some grip tape on there. But we're hoping to have, so now that this is approved, the sample has been approved, we're hoping to have the first 500 available before Christmas. So that should happen. It looks like we're on schedule to make that happen. So sometime in December, hoping to get the rest of them. And we're also going to, so this is what's cool too, is it's going to come in its own Valir style packaging. So I've got a push button too, and it's going to be me saying the quotes from the video. So it'll have a push button. It'll have a little handwritten note that I wrote, to everybody. And they're going to sell shirts too separately that look super cool. They look similar to the paddle, except it's all on the back of the shirt. So hopefully that answers your question, Colt.
I think you answered that really well. And Webby, I think we know what we're getting each other for Christmas this year to open up during our Christmas broadcast. Because first of all, that paddle looks awesome. I love the fact that it's got your branding on there. First of all, you can never shave your mustache now. Like that. That's there forever, right? I love that it's got the quotes.
I'm okay with that for right now. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I love that it had the quotes on the back. And you brought up opening a Valir paddle is kind of an experience, right? They have all the fun stuff in there. I think it's cool that you'll have your own. Well, we're gonna have one of your buttons to play the sounds from.
Yes.
So super excited about that. Sure. And that's so like, what is that kind of a pinch me moment to have? I know you made a joke like, oh, the first 3-5 to ever have their own signature paddle, but it's kind of a big deal. Was that a pinch me moment? Like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, all of these moments feel like pinch me moments, man. I've done so many things, bucket list item things, just from especially this last year. The 2023, knock on wood, has been such a good year, man. I mean, and the things that you get to experience through doing this content, like chasing your dreams and just kind of enjoy. Like, I've been all over the place, with Chubby's Clothing. That that's a big sponsor too. They've had me out to some crazy events. Tight End University, like I'm making videos with George Kittle and Travis Kelce, and so it's just it's almost like I feel like things are moving so fast, and I'm just in it right now that I haven't really. It takes like every now and then a moment will hit me, and I'll look back and go, man, like this is good. Life is good right now. We've been working really hard to get here. And we continue to work, but it's nice to sit back every now and then and force myself. That's one thing I have to do is kind of force myself to just stop and go, hey, if it all ends right now, look at what you've done, and just be appreciative of all these little things, because it moves fast, dude. It has been one of those things where things just keep going and going, and you can't believe it. You can't believe who's reposting your videos or commenting to you or sending you messages, and and you're like, dang, that's pretty cool, So I have to force myself sometimes to have those pinch me moments and just go, all right, let's just appreciate what we got going on right now,
Yeah, I love that. I love that take. That is great. But yeah, like Eddie and I, we've had some pinch me moments too, and two that come to mind for me. One at the very top of my list has been the fact that we had Chris Draper from the Detroit Red Wings on our podcast, and I've had a chance to hang out with him and watch him play pickleball. I mean, growing up a Michigander near Detroit, I mean, the Red Wings, especially when he played on the team, like that was my all-time favorite sporting moment of my life. And the fact that I got to meet and have on the podcast this hockey legend, a local legend and stuff like that. And then I'm also a very big fan of the TV show Survivor. And we had Tyson Apostle on the podcast, and we got a chance to play pickleball with him, make a couple of videos with him. I mean, it's crazy. The awesome things that have happened in our lives, all because of a sport where we hit a wiffle ball.
Yeah, where we smack a wiffle ball at each other, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think about? I mean, like, it's wild.
I was on the phone with Tyson today. Actually, we're gonna be doing some content with Chubbies at the Nationals. So
nice.
He's a good guy, man, and it's fun to work with him. I did the first pickleball, or the first real Chubby shoot I did, where they were trying to get in the pickleball space. Tyson was there, and the way he just took charge, like he wasn't even the producer on the set. He just took charge and was like, and I was like, dude, let's just follow your direction, man. I love this. He's like, sorry, I just got to start doing that, so, but he's great, man. But you're right, dude. It's funny how this sport is just, it's so new, and we're living it, like all of us that are into it now and getting to experience it now are right in the beginning of it. And I think it's a landmark in history for sports right now for those that are into pickleball. It's like, it's never going to be like it is now, where it's just getting so big that it's reaching people that we get to associate with, for sure.
I remember Scott Golden had Kyle Yates on a live stream. How many years ago was this now, Webby? Like maybe almost 4 years ago?
Yeah, I would say so.
And I remember Kyle said, everybody cherish these moments in pickleball right now, because it's never going to be the same, and it's going to grow. And I feel like from 4 years to 2 years ago was a huge jump. And then from 2 years ago till now, it's another huge jump. But at the same time, I also think that we're starting to see a little bit of a pendulum swing back to why pickleball became so beloved as a sport and as an activity, and almost this kind of grassroots movement of more local community feel type of things, while still understanding there is a big national pro stage for the sport to be highlighted on. And I think an example of that is like the Arizona Pickleball League, right? Like, you got these pro players that are doing fantastic, putting on a great production. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. So I guess, Evan, if let's say there is somebody that wants to start a podcast, or they want to become a content creator, they want to do sketch comedy type videos in the pickleball space, like what kind of advice would you give to them?
Man, that's a great question. Well, first of all, I would say don't do something that, you're not really experiencing. Don't just do it because that pickleball is booming right now.
Yeah.
And you want to try to ride that train. I think we've seen that. We've seen that. And there's some viral videos where you can tell that they just are making fun of the pickleball thing, and they don't really play the sport. They're not really into it. They're not going to continue to do it, and that's fine, for one or two deals. But if you really want to make it your thing, part of the problem I think that we see is that everybody's doing the same thing, especially with the blog sites. It's tough to be a blog site in the pickleball realm because I follow a lot of them just because they repost a lot of my stuff, and I've met a lot of them. And then it's like once a story breaks, it'll be on my feed one time, and then another time, and then another time, and then from all different news avenues. So it's like when it comes to the content with pickleball, just figure out what works for you, what you're comfortable doing, and then target that market. Like if your thing is the pro scene, make fun of the pros. If your thing is the rec league stuff, make fun of the rec league stuff. It's just kind of that's one area where like I have been asked to do stuff in different fields that I'm new at. So if I'm not trying that field, or if I don't give it a shot first, I don't make the content, until I'm comfortable enough. That's what I get a lot of time is, man, he really knows a little bit about this. It's like, yeah, because I'm actually doing it. I'm actually doing some CrossFit. I'm actually doing some pickleball. I'm actually,
yeah.
So don't just try to ride the train just to ride the train. Like if you're into it and you want to do some comedy around it, find something that no one else is doing and be original. And a lot of that for me comes from not watching other content. Sometimes I purposely just don't watch content so that I don't get in my head like, oh, well, let me do a video like this, but different. I just want to keep it organic and fresh. So I just like go play pickleball or go to the pickleball court and start thinking of scenarios that I would want to shoot and then shoot it and post it. And just that way I try to keep it as fresh as possible.
I like it. That's great advice.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead,
go
Webby.
ahead.
No, you.
Yeah,
I want
I'm
you to
glad-
go, Webby. You go this minute.
Good. I'm going right now. But I'm glad you said that about like advising people not to just ride the train and be passionate about pickleball before making content about it, because like I've seen so many people, like you said, that it's just so blatantly obvious that they're just trying to cash in on pickleball. They don't know anything about it. Like you said, they're just kind of ripping on pickleball. You can tell they're not really into it. And I can't stand that. It's a big pet peeve of mine. And one of the reasons why I love your content so much is you can tell that you're actually passionate about it. You know what you're talking about. The things that are in your video, only true pickleball players would get and really find funny and stuff like that. So I like that approach, and I really like when things are genuine when it comes to pickleball. And I'm definitely fed up of the people just trying to cash in on it, because it's it was for a little while. I really liked when celebrities got involved in pickleball, just because like pickleball needed a boost. It needed to get more exposure and momentum, but we're beyond that now. Pickleball has boomed. Pickleball has made it. Everybody knows what pickleball is now. That wasn't the case like 4 or 5 years ago. So many people did not know what pickleball was 4 and 5 years ago, but now like everybody knows what pickleball is. So if you're going to make content, have it mean something, have it be truly good, be passionate about it. Don't just jump into it and try to cash in on the pickleball train, because it's not going to work.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I got to say about that, Eddie.
I like it. Short and to the point. Hey, I've got a couple YouTube comments here from our friend Mr. Martini. He says, "Hey, it's Julian Arnold."
Huh. I don't know, man.
Then he follows up with a quick "Andiamo." I'm assuming he's referencing the commercial where you say you get mistaken quite a bit for Julian Arnold.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So I throw a few andiamos in there every now.
I love how you can just go right into character like that. That's great.
Well, speaking of Julian, like I'm a big fan of Julian. I love his paddle. I love the button that he's got going. But I'll be honest, I think your custom paddle and your button and the whole package that's going to get released when your paddle comes out, I think that's going to outsell Julian. I'm calling it right here, right now. Do you hear me, Julian?
Dude,
I think our friend here is going to outsell you when it comes to paddles.
Oh,
we need to come up with some kind of a bet where he'll have to play with my paddle in the next tournament or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I
I
like it.
love the design of it, man. I agree. I think, and I played with it. I was in Austin. We did a really cool event with Valir. It was so much fun. We did this random. So I went to Austin, where Valir's out of, for this past weekend, and we were going to make some content. And then we went to the Formula, the F1 race there Sunday, and it was just a time just to kind of get to hang and appreciate everything that we're working on with Valir. And so we go down there, and Saturday they've got this really cool pickleball club, and I'm blanking on the name. It was Austin Pickleball. I'll have to think of it. But this guy started this concept where he rented some space at the top of a parking garage downtown, and they just rented him the whole level, and he turned it into 2 pickleball courts. And it's a private club. It's fenced in. You have to be a member, all that kind of stuff. But it's right in the middle of downtown, so you got all these cool buildings around it and stuff. And so we just did a pop-up event, and it was, play me and Ryan, the owner of Valir, and if you beat us, we'll give you a paddle. So he brought like 30 Mach 1s with him, right? And I played 7 games. It was hot. It was like record heat out there. And we got to where it was like, we played the first game to 11, then we started playing games to 7, just because it was so many people wanting to play. And we lost a bunch of Valir paddles. I'll tell you. we lost a bunch of Valir paddles. But it was good. People would come up and play us, man, and then we'd get to award them with the paddle. And I've got a bunch of footage that I'm going to be going through next week and posting videos from that. But it was such a cool event, and I got to play with my paddle there. That was the first time I'd gotten to play with it. And it played great. I've been playing with the Mach 1 and the Mach 1 Forza for years now, and then switching to this, it felt very similar. So I think it's going to do well. People love the design. The design's super cool, and even if you don't know the content, it's still a cool paddle, to look at and to use. So hopefully it will do well for sure.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for good branding.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for great branding, and like immediately when you showed me that paddle, I was like, I have to get one of those paddles. I just have to.
I'm telling you, Webby, if it comes out by Christmas, Webby and that'll be our Christmas presents to each other for sure.
Yes.
So they're like $100 price point, I think, 110, and that's with the box with all the stuff in it. So can't beat that for all you get with it. So. Great. I'm hoping they'll be out. I think they will be.
Well, you said you're going to be at Nationals. Are you going to be at MLP Dallas by chance at all?
What dates are the MLP?
So it starts next Thursday. So that's what, November 2nd through Sunday, November 5th.
Dude, I wish I was going to be there for that part. I get in the 8th through the 12th. So I'm there for the PPA side of things. I'm going with Chubbies. They're going to be there, like I said, with Tyson and everybody. And, so I think I may even try to get in the 7th if I can switch my flight. But, because I'm going with Chubbies, it was kind of limited on when they wanted to bring us down. But are y'all going to be there for the MLP part?
I'm going to be there. Boxcar is contracting me to live stream the courts 3 and 4, just the back courts, one camera with scoreboard. So I'll be down there doing that. Thought if you're going to be there, it'd be cool to hang out. Could check out your paddle. Maybe we can get some pickle in. But I'm flying home on Sunday the 5th, so I'll be out of there before you get there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we definitely need to do that, though, for sure. I love the MLP events. I mean, I've gotten to do a little bit of both now, and the first MLP event I went to was MLP Daytona at the earlier part of the year, and that was the first thing I've ever done with Valir. It was the first time I ever went to a pickleball tournament, and the content was still, it was definitely getting well known there. So we had a good turnout. Meet a lot of fans of the content, but the whole event itself was it was fun, dude. It was fun. Even if you don't know anything about pickleball, it was fun to go and hang out and watch. So, I'm going to miss the MLP part of it, but looking forward to the 8th through the 12th. I think it'll be a good turnout.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be a really cool event. It's going to be fun that, You got MLP kind of going right into nationals. But that's also a long time for those players that, need to be there for both. It's like, do you fly home for a day or two and come back, especially with nationals changing their format this year where I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they're going to be playing out. I don't know if it's all brackets or the pro bracket, but you're going to be playing one match a day. So you could potentially, from what I understand, be playing a singles match, gender doubles, and a mixed doubles one day. And then the next day you play the next round, and then that carries over into the finals. So it's going to be kind of cool, but I could also see from a pro perspective why that would be kind of challenging because you really don't know how long you're going to be there for. And yeah, it just gets a little tougher to manage.
Do you know much about the schedule going into the PPA? It sounds like starting Monday, especially Tuesday, maybe they've got a celeb game.
Yep.
That transitions into the PPA side of things or whatever. But I think I'll miss that and go right into Wednesday. See, I'm with you. I think if I was a pro, dude, I would just stay and ride it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why fly home to turn around a day or two later just to fly right back,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have never been to a full-blown MLP event. I would love to one of these times. MLP had like a hybrid event in Grand Rapids last year at the Beer City Open. That was super fun, but it wasn't like the full-blown MLP experience. So one of these days, I've got to do it, and I'm trying to work my way into the Columbus Sliders organization. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Evan, but I am actually a Hall of Fame inductee for the White Castle Cravers Hall of Fame, and the Columbus team is the Columbus Sliders. They've partnered up with White Castle, so I mean...
Oh, that's amazing.
I feel like they should probably get a White Castle Hall of Famer to be part of that association, a part of their team.
Hell yeah.
And I could well represent them. Columbus is only like a 3.5-hour drive from my house, so I could easily go to their headquarters and help do some promotions and stuff like that. So if you're listening, Columbus Sliders, if you want a White Castle Hall of Famer to be part of your organization, I mean...
Like
I'm
cheeseburger
right here.
Sliders. It's great. It's great, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to get a picture of that. Actually, here we go. I think I can bring it up on screen. There he is.
Oh,
in his White Castle Man costume.
Yep. Yeah, that is the reason right there. That is the reason that I got inducted into the White Castle Hall of Fame. I created this superhero called White Castle Man, a.k.a. Slider Man. And as you can see, there's like a nice utility belt of sliders there. And pretty much he defends Craver Nation from hunger. If anybody is hungry,
That's
Slider Man
amazing.
appears and he helps satisfy that craving.
This is awesome.
I think if you play some tournaments dressed as
Yes.
Slider Man, I think you would
There we go.
You're in then, dude. And then like when you get done winning, you just sling cheeseburgers everywhere out of the utility belt,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But what's funny is
That is
that I got inducted, that was I think 7 years ago now. And I never would have thought that my White Castle passion would ever get combined with my pickleball passion, but now that is a very realistic possibility. So you never know.
Yeah.
You never know this might happen. I feel like it has to happen. If it doesn't happen, that would be just a tragedy,
dream.
But,
What a dream,
Right?
dude.
right?
That's awesome, man. That is too cool, dude.
Oh, there we
There he
go.
is.
That's the. So anybody watching the video version of the podcast, this is the on the screen. We have a picture of me with all the swag that I won when it was announced that I was being inducted into the Cravers Hall of Fame, and then they sent me even more stuff after the induction, and I got a nice plaque on my wall. It's hanging up right over there on the wall. I would show it to you right now if I could, but it's too far away, so I can't. But
Oh man.
yeah, I have a deep history with White Castle, so. I mean, now that they are sponsoring,
So that should be
a
on your
team
pinch
in the
me
Major League
moment.
Pickleball.
That's a pinch me moment,
Right?
dude.
Oh, it is. No, for
That's
sure.
a
For the
pinch
longest
me
time,
moment. Yeah.
for the longest time, that was like whenever you meet a new group of people, or if it's your first day at a new job or something, and you got to break the ice. That was always my icebreaker. The fact that I'm inducted in the White Castle Hall of Fame. But then it became like once I got more involved in pickleball and did really cool pickleball related things, then pickleball became my topic of conversation. But here we go, coming full circle now. And going back to the White Castle, combining it with the pickleball, I mean, It's destiny.
Yeah.
It's destiny. That's all I can
destiny. You're fit to serve, dude. Y'all are both fit to serve. You're living out, you know what I mean?
Nice.
You're serving your purpose, dude. This is what it feels like. You know? This is it. We're in it. All three of us were in it.
Yes.
You're not living your purpose, man. You got to figure it out. And your purpose can be something like pickleball. You know, I never saw myself going as far with pickleball and with comedy as I have now. So don't let something so small or you think, oh, this is silly or whatever not be what you chase, because if you're passionate about it, go for it, dude. That's my whole thing, man. It's like I'm not going to let myself hold myself back anymore. And I feel like so many people do that, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
What's y'all's duper ratings? Let's get into that. Because if I played, I feel like Webby's probably pretty good. I mean, he's talking about buying pickleball teams, and he's on the White Castle Hall of Fame. I don't want to guess because I don't know.
No, guess. No, guess, please.
Please. I would like to see you guess. Based on what you've heard during this interview, I would like to know what you think my duper is and what Eddie's duper is.
So what's the highest? Is what 6'5" the highest?
I think duper actually goes up to 8, if I'm not mistaken. They go up a lot higher than UTPR.
But there's not an 8. I mean,
no, nobody's an 8.
No one.
Yeah, nobody's actually an 8, but it goes up to that number.
Okay. I'm going Webby 5'5". I'm going Eddie 5'0".
Wow. You are very generous.
Super generous. Yeah.
And you have obviously never watched any of our gameplay videos.
That's coming from a 3.5, guys.
Do you want to share yours first, Webby?
Yeah, I'll share mine, but I'm going to give a disclaimer. If you were to ask me what I think my rating is, I would say 3.9. Because I feel like I can compete with 4.0 players, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. And that's what my duper rating was for a long time, but they changed their algorithm to where wins and losses mean a lot more. And I did a lot of tournaments with my daughter over the summer, and we did 3-5 tournaments, which was way higher than what she should have done.
So you're just slaying folks. You're just out there slaying folks.
Well, no,
you're just out there beating teams. And
well, she got targeted. She got targeted a lot, and I don't poach a lot, so we did not win a lot of games. So we lost a lot of games. So my rating dropped dramatically over the summer. So my current duper rating is a 3.35.
Oh,
dang,
yeah.
Dude.
That's why
I was super generous.
That's why I've been strongly adamant that the current win-loss factor being the main focal point. That's why I've been so passionate about me saying that is not a good way to go.
Yeah, if I were you, I would think that way too.
Yeah, you got to go knock out some 4s, dude. You got to go knock out some 4s, dude. You got to go find some 4s and start slaying.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Eddie? What are you working with here?
Right now I am at a 4.27.
Damn.
Thank you. I think that's
impressive.
I think it's pretty fair.
Generous.
If I'm playing generous, yeah. If I'm playing in Florida on courts I'm comfortable with, then I can hang with
Eddie's
the 4-5s.
Out there with the 75-year-olds. Eddie's out there beating the Judas,
right?
Tearing the Judas up at Naples. He goes to senior hour and just destroys them.
Yep.
I got
when I play, I'm typically the oldest guy on the court. So
yep.
Unless I have my daughter on my team.
Yep. I'm slaying the 7-year-olds. Yeah.
Enough to even rate myself on Duper. I just got an account because the guy that I deal with from Duper was giving me a hard time for not having an account. And then when I played with Ryan at this last little thing, he's like, "You're a 3.5. You're a 3.5." He's like, "I'll watch you one game and I'll tell you what your Duper rating. You're a 3.5." I was like, "All right, dude, whatever, man."
I
was super generous. Webby, your score needs to. I mean, that doesn't sound accurate. If you're going to be going for,
it's not.
White Castle status, like Team White Castle,
right?
You got to get it up, bro.
Well, I will say this: I recently did a 4.0 to 5.0 tournament, a mixed doubles tournament. I played with a 65-year-old female partner and we got a bronze
Perfect.
medal in the division of 7 players. So I am very proud of that. It was a very, very tough
That's
group.
good.
So that I feel like that shows that I've still got it. And I was using my Valir Mach 1 paddle, and I feel like that
Of course.
had a part to play in it. I'm not even sponsored by them. Why am I
What was
plugging
your
them so much?
65-year-old partner's name?
Wendy. It was the team of Wendy and Webby.
Wendy.
Yep.
That's pretty stout, dude.
We even have
Wendy.
T-shirts. I made some Wendy and Webby T-shirts, and we've been
wow.
rocking those.
You need to find a Sandra. If you get a Sandra,
I like
Sandra
I
or
don't think I
Judy,
know any
Donna.
Sandras.
Donnas are good. Donnas are good.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
you like to use Donna as your wife's name quite a bit in your videos there.
yeah,
I've picked up on that. Is there a Donna that is you think of when you're
what's
talking
funny?
about? Yeah.
My mom's best friend name is Donna, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I don't think I'm like secretly into Donna, my mom's best friend, but it just felt right whenever I was saying it.
Hey,
Have
Donna,
you guys ever played together?
Webby and I, yeah, we play together. We play every summer at the Beer City Open. Usually we get our butts kicked. We typically don't play very well together. We have 2 very different styles, and they don't seem to mesh well. And I think it's just a difference in area. In Naples, the game at the 4.0 level is very strategic. It's a lot of dinking, a lot of soft. It's very specific when you speed the ball up. And when I go up to Michigan, the game is very different. It's much more fast-paced, erratic, hard to predict, shots that I just don't ever really see. And it brings in challenges when Webby and I play together that it's tough. It's tough for us to play together.
Yeah, we
That's
also
a good
don't get a chance
analysis.
to practice much.
Yeah.
We because last year we got a chance to practice a few times before the Beer City Open, and I felt like we were finally we were starting to jive pretty decent. Like I was feeling confident going into last year's Beer City Open, but then one thing led to another, and we were not able to play together because of just circumstances that happened. So we did not play together. I think we would have done decent last year. This year we did not get a chance to practice much beforehand, and it definitely showed when we played. But I do think if we got a chance to practice together, we could work out a good strategy, and I think we would do good. But the fact that we don't hardly ever play together, that definitely negatively impacts us, and our styles do not jive well.
If you wanted to play the style of the guy with the higher duper rating, we'd probably do a lot better. So maybe we should try that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't disagree.
You definitely have to be playing with your partner if you're going to be good at it.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing I like.
Yeah.
I look at the pros about, especially in the PPA, where you're like, you don't get to practice. You just choose your partner, or you can just choose your partner. And it's like you watch the pros that they choose the same partner, like when Anna Lee and Ben Johns play together, right? But then you see some other pros that are like they're trying to do something new, so they pick a new partner. The partner game is definitely something that you've got to be, I think, even more so than tennis. Like, you've got to know how the other person plays. You got to be on the same page. You got to have played together for a little bit. So it definitely makes a difference, for sure. Big difference.
Oh yeah, chemistry too.
I'm
and
learning
understanding
to
who's going to
dink.
cover
I'm
the
learning
middle.
how to dink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole it's very important. I also think lessons and clinics are important. I've been very, very fortunate that I've been doing Simone's YouTube channel for a while now. So I've been able to get some private lessons from her. She's invited me to some of her clinics when people kind of aren't able to make it at the last minute. Just being able to edit her videos and really kind of understand how she thinks about the game. That's been a huge bonus as well. So I recommend to anybody too, like get a couple private lessons to have them really hone in on some areas that you need to focus on, go out and drill those areas, and then go to a clinic, because clinics are also good in their own way as well. You're typically going to have 2 or 3 days. You're going to have a few different pros, and you're not going to have the one-on-one focused attention that you would get with private lessons, but you're going to be drinking through a fire hose that if you have the opportunity to go and apply during your rec games as well as drilling, it's going to help you level up in no time.
Yeah, that's a good point, for sure. I haven't taken any clinics, but I have had the opportunity to like make content with pros.
Yeah.
And it was, and just even watching the tournaments, just watching how they play, like it is such a different game. Like when you watch pros play a tournament, that's what I was trying to explain to people that are new to it. I was like, if you go watch the pros play, it is way different than what you're seeing out here. You're just seeing people all over the court hitting the ball around, but they're like deliberately rushing the kitchen line, and it's like a strategic, So it's cool the different aspects that are in pickleball. When it goes from rec to pro, learning the game, and then like learning how to translate what you see on TV into a rec game is just a total different skill set, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And even getting a chance to go on the court with pros is such a cool thing. Like you brought up there, Evan. I remember the first time I got to play with Dekel Bar. I was to his right. Yeah. He was to his left. He ripped a forehand. The paddle came maybe 18 inches away from my face, but the wind and the sound that came off of the paddle as he crushed the ball with his forehand next to me, it honestly felt like he was going to hit me in the head. It's on a different level. And to be able to be around it, to see it, to experience it, I think is pretty incredible too. I think one of the biggest problems, and I know we're getting really deep into like philosophical stuff with pickleball, but I think one of the biggest problems people fall into is they go to their same courts every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. They play with the same people every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. It's the same style of play every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. They get stuck in these patterns and they can't break out and get to the next level because everybody's playing the same. They're not working on it. They're not drilling. They're not kind of, trying to help each other to that next level. And you see it all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I believe that 95% of all pickleball players, they don't care about getting better. If they want to go to YouTube to watch a video of somebody trying to tell them how to work on their third shot drop, it's because they're pissed off at their neighbor Janice keeps beating them and they want to beat them.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's very local. It's very me in my little tiny community. And I don't even know if there's pros. I don't care. It's just this small little thing. And so I guess where I'm going with that is, you got to break out of that a little bit. You got to go and challenge yourself. Go to the challenge courts, play up, reach out to a group that you know is better than you. Admit to them, hey, I know you guys are 4-0s or 4-5s or whatever you are. I just want to come and play a few games with you. Is that okay? And most of the time people are going to be cool about it. So
yeah, do that and watch the pro events. Like even if you're not super interested into it, watch it just to see the difference in how they play. I remember when we were at MLP Daytona, and the first time I actually met Julian, I was already signed by Valir, and they bring me out to a tournament, and they're like, hey, we want you to get some content with Julian. It's cool. I meet Julian. He's great. We hit it off. We're doing a video, and I forgot what the premise is, but I'm like, we're going to have to play a point, basically. Me versus Julian one-on-one singles. All right? I'm in worse shape then than I am now. All right? I think I had I was in way worse shape then than I am now. And I'm like, all right, now serve it. And when you serve it to me, don't lay off. Really give it to me, And he serves it, and I go to return it and literally fall on my ass. Like I busted my ass. It's in the video. I fell down, and I was trying to return it. And I remember thinking, damn, this is a whole new thing for me, So it's a new sense of appreciation when you do, like you're saying, play somebody that's better, just to see if it's, challenge yourself a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's the way to get better, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. The first really eye-opening experience for me in regards to how good the pros are was in one of the early episodes of Webby versus Everybody. It's a series I do where I play a singles match against a high-level player, and Andrea Coop agreed to be in one of the earlier episodes that I did, and that was the first time I ever did a singles match against a pro player, and it was insane how, I just couldn't do anything against, her serves, her returns, her thirds, everything she did was unlike anything I had ever experienced before. It really opened my eyes to how high of a level these pros are at compared to anybody. I had played against 4-0 and 4-5 players before, and I thought I could hold my own and stuff. But when I played against her, I couldn't do anything. I think she beat me 3 or 4 games in a row, 11-0. And I'm pretty sure she wasn't even trying her hardest either. Like, I'm very positive she was not trying her hardest. But
is she a tennis background?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has a very high level tennis background.
Division I. She was a champion at UCLA. USC? Where the hell did she go? I think UCLA.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
She's got solid her whole family does. Her sister Maggie.
Yeah.
Another solid tennis player. So
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those sports you watch where you're like, I could do that. Why aren't they smashing it right now? When
right.
You know, that's what I would say. Just slam it on them, right? You know, and until you're actually in it, you don't appreciate it like you do, and until you actually play it. But it is one of those sports where I'll admit where you watch and you're like, dude, if I was there, I would have just, I would have smashed it on them.
I could totally kick that guy's ass on the court, like no problem.
This is dumb, dude.
You actually bring up a good point, and that is why I feel like, and remember, my career is in pickleball broadcasting, right? So so please take that. I don't think that pickleball. Let me rephrase that. I think pickleball has a natural ceiling when it comes to how televisable is it of a sport, and I think that. Trying to go after these like 50 million, 60 million viewers. What the hell? We're so far away from that. Guys, there's a natural ceiling to it because I don't think that people, unless you're playing it, you probably don't appreciate it and you probably don't want to watch it, right? So I think there's a natural ceiling in professional pickleball broadcasting. So to me, I think we should focus on putting on a good quality product, really highlighting these pros as individuals, but understand that it's never going to be football. It's never going to be basketball. It's never going to be any of these top sports, and that's okay. Let's focus on what we do well, and that is the community feel to it, the grassroots feeling of it, the fact that the sport was created, in some guy's yard because they were bored, and it ended up just taking off, and just celebrate that and be good with that. I think that's the direction that we should go with it.
Yeah, totally. I agree. And it's because it's like you're saying, it's like that's one of the things, like when working with Valir that we talked about. It's like the people that are interested in the pro market of this is such a small percentage of the people actually playing the game. We want to go after the people that are enjoying just going to their rec league park and playing with their friends because they want to be active and they want to do something fun. One thing I've appreciated about the events is that they tend to make them fun, and I think that's something they need to not, stray away from.
Yeah. Don't
go down the tennis road and make it too professional where, one person makes a funny comment out loud and it's the highlight of the night, like these should be fun events. These should be, that's how you're going to get people interested in it. Most of the people are drinking, and most of the people have not played pickleball sober ever in their life until they go to it. Know what it is, dude. Know what it is. Know what you've got going on. Encourage drinking, and that's why they're there. So I will give that to them. They have made it a lot of fun. The MOP event I went to was fun. The PPA I went to, was fun. DJ Selkirk have y'all seen DJ Selkirk on the ones and twos? No, so hopefully they keep that up, man, and have fun with it for sure.
Stay different than tennis. That's the message I always like to say. It's a different sport. Don't be tennis.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes.
God.
Yeah, I hate when people compare it. They're like, well, in tennis, they do this. Well, yeah, so let's get away from that and do our own thing.
Yeah.
Good thing we're not playing tennis right now.
Right, exactly.
Right. Have you ever played tennis, by the way?
Your fans don't want tennis.
It's not fun. Like, and until you're good, you spend 90% of your time chasing balls around. Like, it's not. Anyway, this isn't a.
Yeah. That's why people are playing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you see all these full pickleball courts? Look over there. See those empty tennis courts? Enough said.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a reason why it's like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, I mean, just imagine though, like you go to the country, you go to your tennis courts and you got a cooler and speaker and you're drinking and you're playing music. That doesn't fly for long. But at pickleball, it flies. At pickleball, at least where I play, it's encouraged,
Well,
and that's why people love it.
And think about your content, right? If you were to make that same content about tennis, it wouldn't be funny because everybody would be like, that's not real.
That's not how it works. That doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah,
But because
I have
it's
no market in the tennis market. Yeah,
right, yeah, that's the pickleball world is.
I got
is so
reposted
different.
one time by a tennis. It was a fairly large tennis Instagram account, and I can't remember what they posted. But it was like they were trying to maybe dabble in sharing some pickleball stuff just to boost their numbers a little bit. But no, you never see anybody. Now, that's a great point. I've never seen anybody do what I'm doing in the pickleball space with tennis
No,
because it has no audience for it.
unless they're making
Right.
fun of tennis players and how uptight they are. That's to me, that's the only comedy that I've seen
Yeah.
come from tennis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. So hopefully they stay
Yeah.
true to that, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking
Stay-
of your
stay weird,
content,
pickleball.
Yeah, definitely stay weird.
Yeah.
But your content and drinking and pickleball. Another classic video of yours that I absolutely love is the one that you do about pickleball after pickleball and drinking alcohol, and then it's like after 1 beer, after 5 beers, and then like it's
Yeah.
just the stuff that happens
Yeah.
in that video is
He's
so
like trying to
so
get
good.
Judith to drive him home.
Yeah.
Judith, did you see Judith though in that skirt?
Yeah. Oh man, so good. But seriously, everybody, if you haven't checked out Evan's Instagram account, look up Fit2Serve1 on Instagram. You will not be disappointed. There's tons of hilarious content. Even the non-pickleball stuff is hilarious. You're gonna love it. But man, Evan, this has been awesome. Really appreciate you joining us here tonight. Before we part ways, we always like to give our guest a chance to say anything they want to say. If you want to plug something, if you want to tell people exactly how to follow you or any endeavors that you're doing that you want people to check out, now is the time where the microphone is yours, my friend.
Dude, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys, man, for sure for having me on. A lot of fun. We could have talked for hours here.
Oh yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed hanging with you guys for sure. But yeah, I've got a ton of sponsors, man, and they continue to allow me to do whatever do the thing that I'm doing now. So from Valir to Ice Barrel to RX Smart Gear, Chubby's Clothing, Blokes is a new one that I've started working with. Spirited Hive is one you're going to see come November. They're a honey alcohol beverage, which will be fun, making content with them.
Nice.
Getting to try them out. So many sponsors and people to make content with, man. It's been allowed me to do what I do, and it's been a lot of fun. So, and for guys like you having me on podcasts and stuff and sharing the content and allowing me to have a voice, I appreciate you guys as well. And I hope, man, it would be fun to meet up and play sometime soon.
Oh yeah.
I wish
sure.
I was going to be at MLP and see Eddie, but maybe you guys will go to a tournament, in the future, and I'll be there and we can make something happen for sure.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. If you if you want to collaborate with the honey alcohol thing, I mean, we're probably available.
We like
Just
our
Definitely
just
need
saying.
to get y'all some out there. Spirited Hive. I'm still waiting. Come November, it's gonna be it's gonna be cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's a whole new little vibe behind alcohol. It's supposed to be a little bit healthier for you, but still alcoholic beverage, so it should be a lot of fun to make content with. I'm gonna put some of those
Nice.
in my pickleball bag, dude. Just
Mhm.
have them everywhere.
I like
Hell
it.
yeah. I love it. No, this has been awesome, man. Really appreciate you being here tonight. Keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely love it. Big fan of your content. Everybody go check it out, but have yourself a great night.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll see you, man. We're gonna post all your stuff down below too, so that way people can link to all your social media accounts as well.
Sweet, right on.
Awesome. Thanks, man. We will see you
Thank
soon.
y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And if y'all cut up any reels or whatever, just send them my way, and I'll add you guys and put them on my story or whatever.
You're the man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, see ya. Come on.
Man,
How cool was that?
so much fun. So much fun, man. This was so cool. I love this show, and I love pickleball and the fun times that we have because of it. I just can't get over how much fun we have.
I agree. And like I love when we did our podcast, and I love that we had a lot of pros on, and I love that, maybe this is, I don't want to say arrogant, but I feel like we had a role in helping these pros become to the level that they need to be. And I'm so grateful for that because it was fun and it was cool and it was like exciting that all these new pros. But now I like that we're kind of switching back to there's a lot of other parts of pickleball outside of just the pro scene. And I love the pro scene, and I'm sure we're going to have more pros on. We just had one on 2 weeks ago. But to be able to bring on other content creators, other interesting people in the pickleball space to have conversations like this and allow them to, get a couple more subscribers or a couple more followers and help promote it and just kind of talk pickleball. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah, and the stuff that Evan is doing, like that's really some of my favorite stuff in the world of pickleball that's out there on social media and stuff like that. I mean, he's a regular guy. He has a military background.
Mm-hmm.
After he got out of the military, he got out of shape. He was just trying to find something to get back into shape. That eventually led to him finding pickleball. And then he was doing his passion of creating funny videos and then converted that to pickleball content. Somebody in the pickleball world saw it, loved it, gave him a deal, gave him a contract, and he became a sponsored pickleball content creator. I mean, like nowhere else is stuff like that going to happen. That's another one of the hundreds of thousands of reasons why I love pickleball. And tonight and everything that Evan does is a perfect example of that. And I absolutely love it.
I agree. So cool. It's such a fun community. I love being part of the pickleball community. Real quick, we have a comment from Mr. Martini on YouTube saying, Beer City meetup, make it happen. What do you say, Webby?
Yeah, we got to make it happen. I'm sure he'll come. He would have an absolute blast at the Beer City Open.
Yeah. Mr. Martini, you'd have a good time there. Everybody has a good time. Let's make it happen. Yeah, there's plenty of bars and breweries and stuff in Grand Rapids to set up a meetup. So stay tuned once we get closer to July, which I believe they announced the dates and it's a little bit earlier this year. Is that right? Like
it is. Yeah. Yeah. Cause the past 2 years it was during my birthday, which is July 23rd. This year it's towards the beginning of July. So mixing it up a little bit.
All right, let's do that. What a fun night, Webby. I'm so glad we're doing these live again.
Yes.
I'm so glad that we both are able to make these happen. We've been doing them about every other week. It's going to be a tough cadence to keep up with, but I do think that we should try and really make an effort to keep this content coming. And if you guys listening or watching, you have an idea for a guest, maybe somebody less known, maybe somebody with an interesting pickleball story, or maybe it's just somebody that maybe you want to be on a podcast for some reason, throw it down in the comments. Webby and I read every single comment that comes through, even the ones that hurt really bad, that just kill us, right? I'm kidding. I don't really take that shit personally, but right. I mean, if we did, we wouldn't be doing this. But anyway, let us know because I like this format. I want to keep it going. Let's do it.
Yep. Yeah, and if you have something cool going on in the pickleball world, if it's something that we find entertaining or moving or anything that is interesting in the pickleball world, we would gladly have somebody like you on the show. And like Eddie said, I have absolutely loved having people outside of the pro world. I love having the pros on, but people like Evan and different content creators, to me, that is an absolute blast having them on. And I feel like people like that really help move the sport and get more attention to the sport, probably more so than the pros do, to be honest. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Another example of somebody moving the sport forward is our good friends over at Jigsaw Health. Guys, I love Jigsaw Health's products. I use them every single day. Webby, I know you do too. Go to jigsawhealth.com. Check out some of the stuff that they have. If you're looking to keep hydrated while you're playing, I'd highly recommend Pickleball Cocktail. Their blue raspberry flavor is top notch. Webby, is there a favorite Jigsaw product that you go for?
Yeah, my favorite is the Fruit Punch Electrolyte Supreme, but I do also indulge in the pickleball cocktail every morning, whether I'm playing pickleball or not. I don't know, it just gives me a good boost to start my day.
That's right. You guys can use coupon code PB4Life10 to get $10 off your order. I highly recommend you go out there and do that. It helps promote Jigsaw Health and keep them going in the pickleball world, which they do a lot for the sport. Their commercials are hilarious. Tuesday Night Pickleball is an incredible event that they put on. I'm lucky to be part of that broadcast team. It also helps Webby and I because this stuff's not cheap, and we typically spend more than we make with pickleball. And our wives eventually are going to be like, "Come on, let's bring something back here." So every little bit helps. Really appreciate that. And on that note, Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
See ya.
Pickleball.